Hey Taurus, welcome back to Intuitive Dreams 1111. I hope you are doing well. This is going to be your reading for the full moon in Scorpio coming up on the 23rd of this month. This is all about transformation, cycles ending, new cycles beginning, endings, and, new beginnings, and transforming yourself during this time, okay? So keep in mind, energies can be reversed. So if, even though I'm reading this reading for you, it could very well be reversed where it's the cross watcher going through this, okay? Place parties where it fits, take what resonates and throw out what doesn't, okay? So for starters, your 3 tokens, you had 2 tokens come out in the hidden section. So one of them was the bed. Okay, it's a bed. This is about resting, meditation, contemplation, and recuperation. You also ended up with the movie projector. Okay, this is nostalgia, replaying memories. Okay, replaying things over in your head. And you ended up with the snowflake, and the snowflake landed in the family, right? But it was also a smidge on the travel side. Not much, but a little bit. The snowflake can be somebody that's unique, but it can also be someone who is a little chilly, okay, a little cold, because snow is cold, right? Somebody who's more frozen. What I was drawn to, though, was to pay attention to the number on the token for the movie projector. That number is 79. That 79 reduces to number 16, which is the tower deck in the tarot deck, okay? So I feel like this is going to come into play in your reading, and I feel that you're having an internal tower moment, right? It's an internal reality check, wake up call that you're having internally with yourself, because with the snowflake being in the family section and, on the travel, I feel like someone has taken a trip, or they're about to take a trip, or they already have taken a trip, okay? We're all on different timelines. But somebody's traveling, okay? Whether it's business, pleasure, I don't know. There's going to be travel. Someone is going to be laying in that bed while they're on travel, and they're going to be having nostalgia, right? They're going to start thinking about things. Things are going to start playing over in their head. And what's happening is, while this person is laying in bed, they're going to find themselves, because the King of Wands came out in the 7 of Pentacles. I feel like this person's going to almost feel a little fired up, a little heated up, frustrated, because the King of Wands is supposed to be, they're supposed to have leadership, they're supposed to, have vision, they're the visionary, they're the expansion, they're bold, they're direct, and they're generous with their time and resources. That's the kind of person they are. Him on the side, he's not, right? And so now he's, got flames on him, right? Because he's always been marching to his own drum. He's got a drum there, right? He's on the side. So it's kind of like, I'm supposed to be this person that's, giving, generous, bold, open with myself. But they were not. And with the 7 of Pentacles, it's like, okay, now they're starting to think about the past. Here comes the nostalgia, the memories. Things are, scenarios are playing over in this person's head. And they're realizing that they were not holding themselves accountable for being frozen and cool and shut off towards, you know, somebody that's in their life, somebody that, you know, is considered like family, right? It can literally be family. It can be, you know, a friend group. It can be just a close friend you consider family, you know, that type of thing. And this person's like, wow, they're getting a harsh, like, clear truth with the Ace of Swords, right? You know, she's, you know, she's got a shell on her head and she's holding the key, and it's like, oh wow, I think I just unlocked something. You know, the fact that with the Nine of Pentacles on the side, you know, this is somebody, you know, in the upright is ready for like commitment. They're, you know, they're single, they're abundant. It's like pre-empress energy. They could be somebody who's, you know, marriage material, right? Somebody who could be ready for a commitment. They don't need anybody. The only thing they need is that one extra pentacle, which would be love. And so with her on the side, you know, it's a lady that's, you know, depicted on this card. And so with her being on the side, it's, you know, like I said, she should be ready for marriage, commitment, you know, single and abundant. Oh, hold on one second. I hear something outside. Hold on. Taurus, I'm sorry about that. It was a baby crying outside. I think it's my neighbor. Okay, so with the Nine of Pentacles on the side, you know, this is like pre-empress energy. It's somebody who's, you know, marriage material. They're ready. They could be ready for commitment. But I think on the side, this person's realizing they've been their own setback. You know, they've been holding themselves back because the Hermit came out, the World came out, and the Three of Wands. So it's almost like this person, you know, is kind of going within while they're on this trip, and they're thinking and going within and kind of getting answers and realizing that with the World card, they've been keeping themselves like a world apart, so to speak, right? Her dress is like a world, but in the front, she's holding like a world, and behind her is a little world. So it's almost like, you know, this person's realizing I've been keeping distant from this person, right? Like here I am, and I'm keeping this person way back here, you know, world apart, you know, and I've been sitting here with the Three of Wands. See how she's got these long braids, and she's holding a, I don't know if you can see, but she's got a boat in her hand. She's got her hand on her hip. Now, this can be masculine or feminine, okay? There's no gender in tarot, so take this as it resonates. This could very well be a masculine, or it could be a feminine. It could be two feminines, could be two masculines. However the story fits for you, okay? But just be, you know, don't think just because it's a feminine on these cards that this is a feminine, right? Could be, but it could also be a masculine. Just wanted to point that out. But she's sitting here, and it's almost like while you were keeping distance, you know, a distant from this person, at the same time you were waiting for them to come in, right? So it was like you were pushing away, but all this time's gone by and you're still waiting for them to come back into you. And I think you're realizing this while you're away on this trip. You're starting to think, you know, here comes the Tower, here comes the oh, I'm part of, the issue here, right? So when I clarified the snowflake, we ended up with the Nine of Wands, the Knight of Cups in reverse, and the Justice card. Wow. So while you've been cool and shut off and keeping, distance between you and somebody that's, that's considered family to you, you're realizing that not only have you been causing pain to you, you've been causing pain to this other person with the Knight of Cups in reverse. So in the upright, she's ready to hand her heart over to somebody, right? She's ready to open up and be loving and ready for that relationship. She's in the reverse. So no, she's withholding that heart, okay? Whether you're feminine or masculine, it doesn't matter. You've been hurting yourself because you've been playing almost tricks with your own heart by, maybe giving a little bit of it and then taking it back. Giving a little and taking back because you've been withholding yourself, right? You're the one that's been keeping the distance because of constantly, maybe not just going within to get enlightenment, but also somebody who might be a little bit of a loner, just a hermit in general, right? I get that most intuitive people are hermits to a degree. And that's just because of all the energy we pick up on. But it's almost like you were just playing tricks with your mind. And it's like, now with the Justice card, oh man, I think I need to come in and I need to balance something out. I need to make something fair. So the signs we have out, we have Virgo, Libra, Capricorn, Leo, Taurus. Who else am I missing? Aquarius. And now you're realizing, okay, I need to make something fair. Something needs to be balanced out. When I clarified the Justice, we ended up with the Two of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Moon. So the Two of Wands is like, okay, now it's, I need to take a step forward towards getting this cycle moving again and coming out of the moon, right? Because the hidden, right? The moon is things being hidden in the moon. You realized what was hiding. You realized part of this was you being your own problem, getting in your own way, right? With the Wheel of Fortune, she's got all these gears on her. And she's got the heart right there in the middle of one of the gears. And now it's time to get the heart chakra moving again, right? Taking that step forward. It was like you were holding the world in your hand, but you were still looking up at the moon, right? It's like two separate paths. You were wanting the path of love, but yet you were holding that world, still looking up at that moon, holding something in the moon, holding back your true heart, right? You should be giving it, but you weren't. You were holding it. You were withholding it. and it was hurting you as well as probably hurting this other person, because I wanted to know who this person was that, you know, Taurus wants, Taurus is thinking about, Taurus is having this aha moment. I'm like, who's this person that Taurus is thinking about? Who's this person that Taurus has been cold with? Who have they been keeping a distance from? You ready for this? We ended up with the Star, we ended up with the High Priestess, and we ended up with the Empress. Oh boy. Yeah. This person, Taurus, that you are wanting to come make things right with is an intuitive healer. This is somebody, I might even be talking to a tarot reader, okay? Because you don't become an empress until you've been through, you know, all the challenges of life. So this person is intuitive, they're a healer, they're the empress. This is highly spiritual. This is highly productive. This is somebody you don't mess with. And Taurus messed with. Or take it as it resonates, flip energies as it, you know. This person's being cold to somebody that is highly spiritual, that is supposed to be a healer, you know, somebody that's good for you, somebody that's supposed to help melt the snowflake, the frozen, you know, to warm you up, to turn that heart from being upside down to upside, you know, right upside, you know, right side up. You know, this is a beautiful person. And that's why I think when you go on this travel, or if you've already had the travel or it's coming up, this is an internal tower moment for you where you're going to start thinking about things and why you've been getting in your own way. So I wanted to know how this person feels about Taurus. We ended up with the Death card, we ended up with the Two of Swords, and we ended up with the Queen of Wands. So this Empress, this Empress cannot tell right now which way you want to go, right? See the two of Swords in the middle? There's two birds on this log hat she's wearing. You got the Death card where she's like dead on the outside, but she's got all these flowers growing on the inside. And then, you know, you have the Queen of Wands. So she can't tell if this is over between you two, whether there's nothing there, or if you are going to come in with your passion, right? Come in with your love and show your passion for the situation, for this person. She's like, you're kind of like stuck between, I don't know if I want to, you know, end this. I don't know if I should come in and show passion. She's like, she doesn't know. She's intuitive, but she's not that intuitive because you're clearly cold and shut off. And if you're going to be that cold and shut off, she's not going to be able to read you and be able to tell everything about you. It's impossible. You can only be so intuitive, right? And you can only heal somebody who wants to be healed, right? If you're cold and shut off, what's a person to do, right? I don't know about you, but I don't always like the cold weather. I like warm weather. You know what I mean? I hate the cold weather. So me as a reader and a healer myself, I don't want to go near anything that's cold. The only time I want something cold is when it's really hot outside, as a nice cold refreshing drink, you know, a frozen daiquiri. I mean, you know, other than that, or, you know, if I'm out playing in the snow, right? I don't want to be around somebody who's cold shut off. This Empress, that's a healer, that she doesn't either. And so she can't read. She doesn't know. Is this dead, right? Is it dead? Or are you coming towards me with your passion? So when I clarified, or when I didn't actually clarify, but I had asked, okay, what's the outcome going to be for these two, right? Because you got somebody who's having a tower moment, who's realizing they're part of the problem here, as they're sitting like, is she gonna come? She? Are they gonna come? My hair's growing. I haven't gotten a haircut in like 5 years. You know what I mean? Is somebody coming? I'm waiting. You know what I mean? Instead of getting up off your badonkadonk, and realizing you should be fair and open up yourself to this person. You've been cold, right? How are they going to break through this ice? They can't. So I'm like, what's going to happen here? So I ended up, basically, possible outcome. It's free will, and anything is subject to change at any time. But I wanted to know what was the possible outcome. So we ended up with the 2 of Pentacles. We ended up with the 8 of Cups. We ended up with the Queen of Cups, and we ended up with the Page of Cups on the side. So here's the thing. If you, or take it as it resonates, whoever's cold, whoever's been this little unique snowflake, right, that's been chilly, if they're willing to look at the fact that they've been wiffle-waffling with their emotions, if they can realize that that's what they've been doing, right? See how she's up on that building and she's got her leg and she's balancing? It's, somebody's been just sitting on this one little spot, not moving, just kind of juggling what they have, sitting there wiffle-waffling. If they realize that they need to walk away from doing that, right? Open up. Realize that they need to walk away from sitting there waiting while your hair is growing, sitting there juggling for years probably on top of this one little building. If you'd walk away from that, okay, from all that sitting around, and open up your feelings, okay, become more compassionate about the situation, okay, instead of being cold, warm up a little bit. The Queen of Cups, this is the nurturing energy of the deck, right? They're caring, they're compassionate, they're sensitive. It's the mother of the deck. It's, somebody who is intuitive. I like to say the open door policy, right? This is somebody you feel comfortable with. Don't be so cool. Be a little bit more open. Be a little bit more inviting. And be able to, with the Page of Pentacles on the side, it's being able to communicate with emotions, okay? But also coming in and opening up my ears ringing, high pitch, good energy. So this would be good energy to come in and open up your feelings. And admit that you've been a little selfish. See how she's like, looking at the fish in the cup, the goldfish in the cup, you know? It's kind of like, all right, I'm looking over you. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to open up and tell you, yeah, I've been a little selfish. I've been a little cold. All right. It is a possibility. I don't know if that's going to happen. So that's where we're at. Oh boy, these readings, man. And it doesn't help when, you know, I have a headache, and I almost feel like maybe you're giving somebody a headache because you are so cold. So let's pull a Moonology card. All right, so we can see what message we have here for Taurus. Give us a Moonology card for Taurus, please. Full moon in Cancer. Oh my. Yeah, there's some emotions in that, right? A personal issue reaches resolution. You might have some Cancer in your chart. If you do, you might want to use it, like I said, right? Queen of Cups. Okay. If you have Cancer in your chart, that is, like I said, that's the nurturing energy of the deck. Open up, be more nurturing, open up to your feelings, admit that you were a little selfish. If this is what you want, or if this is what the cross watcher wants, okay? Use your Cancer energy and be sensitive and come in and be loving, be open, okay? Let's see. What do we have? Let's pull sacred symbols. What do we have here for Taurus? Focus. Card 24. Yeah. Oh my. Yeah. If you've been feeling scattered, now is the time to hone in on your desires. Time to be direct and very clear with your intentions. Watch your thoughts, because you are drawing into your life what you are focusing on. Meditate on this card when you want clarity and direction in thought and speech. Yeah. You need to be mindful of your thinking pattern. Your thinking pattern, you've been cold, right? You've been shut down. You've been keeping distance between you and this person. So if you're thinking of, you know, distance and wanting to pull away, that's what you're going to manifest. You're going to manifest being left alone. The Empress doesn't want to be around somebody who's cold, right? So you got to get your thoughts put together, and you know, because right now, like I said, you're on fire. You're upset. You know, you're realizing, you know, you're getting this truth about you being part of this problem and pushing this person away and being cold. And so, yeah, you know, now you're realizing, you know, you're starting to feel a little bit more sensitive. Keep that in mind, right? Cancer, remain sensitive, remain nurturing, stay focused, right? And then this will come to resolution, making the first steps, you know, because it's, I don't know who would want to give up an Empress that is highly intuitive and is a healer. I don't know about you, but if I found that, I wouldn't give that up. That's just me personally, but hey, to each their own. Taurus, I hope this was helpful. Much love and light. I will talk to you soon.